The Buddha is in a seating position. The head and body are beautifully and delicately modeled. The expression is very serene. There is some gold foil remaining in the recesses of the hair. There is some damage on the bottom front area, what seems to be excavation damage. There is an older attempt of a botched restoration. Various small areas all over the surface have active copper chloride corrosion that needed to be addressed. Otherwise, the figure is in good condition. As found in most ancient buried bronze sculptures, the metal alloy is heavily mineralized and therefore lost its solidity and is slightly brittle and fractures mostly along intergranular corrosion. The side has deposits on the base covering the mineralized surface. There are some small spots of active chloride corrosion, however no major damage as in the front of the sculpture. This suggests that the figure was probably resting on its back when excavated. The back is also in excellent condition, and the hair and the robe is finely worked. The base is also covered in the same beige deposit as the sides. After discussion with the client, it was decided not to remove the deposit. Further analysis of this material was not requested, and it is assumed that it is a mixture of clay minerals and bronze corrosion products. A restored detail shows the misalignment of the fragment that needed to be removed and realigned. The glossy adhesive is visible and an attempt to cover the shiny areas. Due to the misalignment of the bronze fragments in the front, the unsatisfactory old restoration had to be reversed. The goal was to do as little or no damage to the original substance of the antique bronze cast. It was decided to soften the synthetic polymer with a mixture of solvents and a bulking agent. This was chosen since testing showed that it would not damage the existing noble patina. To minimize any risk to the outer patina, the poultice was only applied to the inside of the sculpture along the old restored fractures. After the disassembly, all fractures were cleaned with a highly volatile solvent to remove all remaining residues of the old resin. Next, the active copper chlorides in the surface had to be treated. The light green copper chlorides were removed mechanically using a scalpel and glass fiber brush under a microscope. Wearing protective clothing and a face mask, these chlorides are potentially carcinogenic and can be transferred to unaffected copper areas. After the removal of the surface chloride corrosion, the area was degreased and treated with corrosion inhibitor. The original fragments were joined with the main sculpture using a synthetic resin. Special care was taken to ensure proper alignment of the fractures. The missing areas were filled with a synthetic resin and leveled to align with the original surface of the patina. These fills can be removed with solvents and should not leave any residue. The gray infills were color matched and structurally adjusted to the original patina, using synthetic binder and mineral pigments. The paint is light fast, however should not be exposed to direct sunlight or excessive high light levels. The dents in the proper left side of the base were not reshaped or covered. The metal is brittle and most likely would have resulted in fractures when trying to reshape. The excessive use of polyester car fillers on metal antiques, as can be seen in many DIY videos, is inappropriate on such valuable sculptures. These fillers age poorly, especially in a hot tropic coastal urban environment as in Southeast Asia. They cross-link, shrink, and are very unattractive in a short period of time if not kept in a highly climate-controlled environment. The bronze was then covered in a very thin museum-grade clear acrylic coating to protect the surface from handling and the environment. The lacquer is completely reversible and is a barrier to prevent further corrosion. The sculpture should be stored or displayed at under 41% relative humidity and 25 degrees Celsius and only handled with nitrile or latex gloves. The treatment executed is almost completely reversible and to museum standards.